Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm JTG, aka Jay the God.
AKA the Human Shopping Channel come to life. A brand new Wrestling Insider's Weekend Review begins now.
Wrestling fans, get ready for a weekend of the unpredictable as the Berserker, John Nord, returns to MWF Studios in Melrose the weekend of Saturday, January the 22nd. Wrestling Insider Throwback Thursday tapings, live episodes, watch-alongs, cyber autograph signings, and more. Boston Wrestling Patreon fans can meet the Berserker for free. For more information and mail order info, head on over to thebostonwrestling.com super site now. Don't miss the Berserker, January 22nd. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, Happy New Year! Dan Marotti here at MWF Studios in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts. The zip code of champion 02176. Hoping you and yours had a tremendous holiday, a safe holiday. New Year's Eve can be kind of nuts. I've been putting in thousands of miles since Black Friday. I've been on the road 11 days with more to come this week as I'm in overdrive to try and close out 2021 big and open up 2022 even bigger for the greatest group of wrestling fans I know, and that just happens to be you. So, cough, cough. Don't forget that the Super Chat is open for business tonight, along with all of the other methods you can help us out. We need your help to produce more great programming with great superstars in 2022. How long is it going to take me to say 2022 on a regular basis? I know I'm going to screw up and I'm going to continue to write 2021 for at least a week or two. That's just how I do things every year, and I get it wrong, and it just gives Linda something else to remind me of. A little more material for Linda to work with. But fans, don't forget tonight we're having a WWE Day 1 pay-per-view watch-along at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Who is going to leave Hotlanta with the WWE Universal Championship? Roman Reigns or the Beast, Brock Lesnar? Will Big E retain the title in that fatal four-way? I know I'd like to see it go back around the waist of Bobby Lashley. I thought the lineup to this pay-per-view was lackluster until the Lesnar match was added. Now I'm actually looking forward to it to some degree. I hope you will be able to join the watch-along again, 8 p.m. Eastern. I was very happy to touch base with former ECW World Champion Just Incredible. He's going to be back in studio very soon for brand new Wrestling Insiders Extreme episodes. With it being a holiday week, we had a couple of all-day marathons for you to catch up on Wrestling Insider episodes from this year for your viewing pleasure. But of course, had some all-new content we'll be showcasing in this somewhat mini week in review to kick off 2022. Don't forget that we'll also be live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for our Sunday Night Live watch-along as Charlie Wilson, myself, John C. Manicus Riley in the booth. We'll be having an NWA Clash of Champions #1 watch-along when the NWA gave the World Wrestling Federation the middle finger the day of WrestleMania 4 by having a free mega card on TBS. Hope you'll be able to join us for our first Sunday Night Live of 2022. Also, don't forget, 3 weeks from tonight, the wild and unpredictable Berserker will be with us live in studio for Wrestling Insiders tapings. Watch-along, cyber autograph signing should be a heck of a lot of fun. Make your plans to join us and keep new episodes rolling by ordering an 8x10 of the Berzerker and or using the world-famous Super Chat button. No hints, but I'm also working hard to bring you another WWF legend, Royal Rumble weekend, the weekend of Saturday the 29th, that'll also join us for our Royal Rumble 2022 live watch-along. Once you've had a chance to unwind from Christmas, from New Year's, stay out of the cold. My God, you know, the snow is going to be coming if you're in at least our part of the country here in Boston. Have the professional wrestling streaming time of your life while helping keep wrestling legends working. We'll give you early, full screen, often ad-free access to Wrestling Insiders. Plus, our world-renowned studio shoot interview DVD series is seen by millions online and millions more on The Howard Stern Show, plus Patreon exclusives and much more by joining the Boston Wrestling Patreon family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. On Christmas Day, we had a Patreon exclusive watch-along with the Berserker as he broke down a WWF Championship match he had against Bret the Hitman Hart. To kick off 2022, we have another Patreon exclusive as Demolition Axe watches Demolition win the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles for the first time against Strikeforce at WrestleMania 4. The first time Axe ever remembers seeing the match on video. It's not available on YouTube. It's exclusive to the Patreon family. Also want to remind fans in the Northeast that you're not going to want to miss the action, the excitement, the memories, the legends. Saturday night, April the 16th, as Boston Wrestling Sports presents to you MWF Soul Survivor 10, Back to the 80s at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts, featuring live wrestling, an autograph photo fan fest, VIP exclusive Q&A session, and so much more. Already confirmed to join us will be WWE Hall of Famer and AEW superstar Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, the Wild Berzerker who was the protege of Bruiser Brody in the 80s, and so many more 1980s icons that are going to be added along with the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, gearing up to compete inside the squared circle. Fans, it is going to be a happening. Best of all, discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now at the BostonWrestling.com super site to save you money while getting the best seats in the house. The discount expires after Raw on Monday night. I suggest you hurry. If that wasn't enough, we're in the home stretch of the Marty Jannetty Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty Indiegogo campaign. We need your help to get Marty back here in studio so we can bring you more great, engaging content as Marty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll look at the 80s and 90s continues. We have great prizes and rewards. Check it out. Let's keep wrestling legends working. We can't produce season 2 of the program without your help. It's really that simple. If you're looking for that late holiday gift for the wrestling fan on your list, even if it's yourself, cough, cough, look no further than the Boston Wrestling eBay store, open 24/7. The link can be found in the description box below, or head on over to bostonwrestling.com and just click the store button. We have awesome merchandise from superstars of every era. This week on Wrestling Insiders Week in Review, we open up with WWF Tag Team Championship Manager Oscar of Men on a Mission, where he's joined by Gregory Simmons, the man that produced the near Grammy Award-nominated Socrates Cafe music video that Oscar rapped in. Check out yet another interesting interview with the Man on a Mission. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, one more time in 2021. It is Wrestling Insider's Monday Night Mission. Hope you enjoyed WWE Monday Night Raw this week. Unbelievable, another year has come to an end. The host with the most, the Man on a Mission, will be joining us in a moment. Don't forget, we have a lot coming up here in the world of Boston wrestling sports. We have the, if you want to join us live, WWE Day 1 pay-per-view watch-along this Saturday night. Don't forget, WWE is going to be doing a lot of Saturday night pay-per-views in 2022, which I actually like. I think it's a good thing. The Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar dynamic is an interesting one. We'll have to see what you guys think when you join us live this Saturday night. Don't forget, Season 1 of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty has come to an end. Since July of 2020, we've brought you over 70 full-length episodes with the man that was rocking since he was in the womb. If you want more of Season 2, check out that great Indiegogo campaign, some great prizes and rewards. You can find the link in the comments section below, along with our social media platforms. Along with that, if you haven't joined the fun of getting early, ad-free, almost always full-size access to all of our great Wrestling Insider programs, great Patreon exclusives like we've had put up over the past week or two with the Berserker John Nord watch-along, the Demolition Axe watch-along, the Studio Shoot Interview DVD library that's been seen by millions online and millions around the world, all while keeping wrestling legends working. What are you doing? You'll have the wrestling streaming time of your life at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling for about the cost of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Help these great wrestling legends working. Again, later in January, the Berserker John Nord is going to be back in studio for some special live episodes. Then all roads lead back to Memorial Hall in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, 2 blocks from where I speak right now. Saturday night, April the 16th, Boston Wrestling Sports proudly brings to you MWF Soul Survivor 10, back to the 80s. As we've already announced, we're going to have WWE Hall of Famer and AEW superstar Jake the Snake Roberts with us. 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions, the greatest tag team in that company's history, in my humble opinion. Axe and Smash Demolition. With that, you might even see the Masked Superstar and Repo Man. The wild, unpredictable Berserker is going to be there as well. A host of others we're in negotiations with. It is going to be a VIP exclusive Q&A, autograph photo, fan fest, and then after all the photos have been taken, all the autographs have been signed, the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow are going to blow the roof off of Memorial Hall with a night of white hot, action-packed professional wrestling. You're not going to want to miss it, folks. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. If you want the best seats in the house, you want to save a little money, again, bostonwrestling.com is the place to be. All right, folks, and with that said, for the final Monday of 2021, I bring to you your humble host, the man that nearly blew the roof off of nearly every major arena across the country, around the globe, the guiding light of the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion, Men on a Mission in 1994. I could only be talking about the one, the only manager extraordinaire, Oscar of Men on a Mission. Oscar, it is a pleasure to have you with us one more time in 2021. Hope you and Mimi and the rest of the Oscars had a fantastic Christmas weekend.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a fantastic Christmas weekend. And, I'm excited because I have a very special guest. Before I bring him on, I got to ask you something, Dan, that's burning my mind.
What's that?
We're going to get into it later. You had the Holiday Headlock show on Sunday, right?
2 weeks ago Sunday, yes. Or a week ago this past Sunday, right.
A week ago this past Sunday. Were there any headaches with the headlock? Don't get into it now, but were there any headaches with the headlock?
The cyber version that we did in the studio, do you really want to know what the only problem was? The
Go ahead and tell me, yeah.
the restaurant that had promised to be the sponsor for the food, the owner wasn't in as he was enjoying the holiday season, and his staff had no idea what we were talking about when the staff went to go and get the dinner. So it was almost like old Mother Hubbard. The cupboards were bare. There was nothing. There was nothing to eat. So something had to go wrong, right?
You can't have nothing without a problem.
You know what?
Hey,
If that's the worst thing that happened for the toy drive, I'll take it, compared to everything that happened at the live event version back on November 13th.
All right, anyway, wrestling fans around the world, they always ask the question, what are you doing now? Where are they now? That is the biggest question among fans, among former talent, and that's in any genre, whether it's wrestling, basketball, entertainment, movie stars, whatever. When they get off the scene, where are they now? Well, I'm pleased to announce I can say where I am now. And I have just dropped an album, The First Realm, and it is just sweeping the country. But I could not do it without this man that I'm going to introduce you guys to right now. He is the president, CEO, and executive producer of the Staunch Moderates, the organization that made the record, that actually produced the record. I'd like to introduce you guys to Gregory T. Simmons. Hey, Greg. Hello. How y'all are you, bud?
Hello, all.
Welcome to the show, Gregory.
Constituents, love you all out there.
Well, Greg, we're going to start with, you got a question. You want to know, make sure it's me you talking to. So.
Yeah, that's me. Hey, I'll tell you what, Casanova, he did drop this album, The First Realm, with us, Staunch Moderate. He did it with me, CRC, that's Chicago Recording Company, Bigfoot, DJ Staunch, Jeffrey Skunk Baxter of the Doobie Brothers and founding member of Steely Dan, CJ Vanson plays keys for Tears for Fears, and us, the Staunch Moderates Intellectual Movement.
Yep, that's right. Now, the opening track, the first song released, Socrates Cafe, that's the name of the first song, had major significance in the music world. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unusual track. Anyway, Socrates Cafe, it's like a table of contents for our album and also for the Staunch Moderates Intellectual Movement. It ended up getting us on the ballot for Best Rap Song at the Grammys 2022. Never would have expected that. We didn't get nominated, but we feel it's an honor to have been considered.
As an executive CEO of a movement with a first album, you have got to be thrilled to be in the Grammy conversation with the Grammy people, wouldn't you say?
Oh, man, like I said, I couldn't believe it. It was just awesome. It really a pleasure to be on.
I know. As the artist,
they say we were being considered for a Grammy.
Yeah, I'm still over the moon. I'm still over the moon. So there's a lot of moving parts of this movement. What did you do after that?
All right, yeah. Since we released our Christmas song, go figure, and music video, it's entitled Peace. We're pleased with the way it's performing out there and hope that someday it becomes a Christmas classic. Friends, fans, and constituents, you should all check it out at staunchmoderates.org/music-videos.
Now, Gregory, I don't want to interrupt, but are you talking about, peace in the world or the piece that John Cena Sr. wears on his head?
Peace in the world.
Peace in the world. Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Okay, yeah, that's funny. Okay, now we've been throwing around the name Staunch Moderate for weeks, and you mentioned it quite a few times. What is Staunch Moderates? What is it all about?
We're an intellectual movement all about addressing the divide and striving for both national and world peace. We formed in December 2019, campaigned 16 different primary states with 35 vital societal issue forums, ran polls, interviews during the conventions and debates, and even hosted a celebrity-attended Panel of 10 Election Day show. Hey, friends, fans, constituents, you can all check it out. It's all there on our website or different forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, yada, yada, yada.
Okay, now the Election Day show. Tell us about that. Who attended? What was it all about? Did you have a good time?
I'll tell you what, man, I had so much fun, and yours truly, Casanova Ace, you were one of the panel of 10 wrapping us through the show, making it good, saving our tails, as usual. Master and rap star, Casanova Ace, we love you, man.
We had Barry Goldwater, we had Luke Ferrigno, we had, it was quite a line.
We had E.H. Simmons. That's my mom. My mom was on that.
Yeah. Mom was on it. His mother. Okay, now. Okay, and after the election, that's when you decided to make a hip hop album. Now, from your perspective, tell us what inspired that, and what are some of the musical genres that are on it.
You know what? The election happened. Biden won. Trump lost. The Capitol raid happened. We were getting towards the end of 2020. We were like, now what are we going to do? I know. Let's make a hip hop album to tell the story. So we made a hip hop first realm, and it's got 6 different genres of music in it: R&B, jazz, hip hop, rock, symphony orchestra, and that's our Christmas song piece. Of world history and culture, all these genres. The name of our album again, The First Realm. Many say it's the most chill hip-hop album they've ever heard.
Okay, what's some of the names of the tracks on the album? I know, but they don't know.
Yep. So quickly, the names of the tracks of the album, listen up. Socrates Cafe, Staunch, Ferrigno, Big, Bill Maher, COVID-19, George Floyd, Peace, Maggie Connor, Philosophy, Staunch Moderate's Journey, Barry Goldwater, Staunch Moderate's News, and A Staunch Moderate.
Okay, and where can fans listen to The First Realm? Quite a few places, but what are some? You know better than me.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Cass.
Where can fans listen to the album? It's on quite a few places, but you know that platform better than me.
Give it a listen. It's available on all major music platforms, including Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, etc. And now, oh yeah, is there some leak? Don't you got some kind of leak going on over there? Your apartment condo, Cass, a leak?
Do I have a leak in my apartment condo? No, why you ask?
Oh, no, we got a leak. The Bigfoot.
Oh, no, you got a leak. Yeah. What's the big leak? That's right. Breaking news.
For upcoming trailer and music video, which will tell you more. We're deep in production on this Bigfoot's music video. It's a music video that belongs on primetime TV. I'll tell you what, the Bigfoots are coming. Cass?
You got dolphins, lions, buccaneers, but here is the reason they need to have fear. The Bigfoots are coming. That's yours truly, y'all.
We're going to get the ball and here's the deal. Before touchdowns, when we go down the field, they better have fear because we on our way. We're going to make everybody stay. We're rock and roll. We rock and roll. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. We're coming and we're going to score. Every time, running over competition like a pig in a box. And here you go, y'all. You better take a look. I was supposed to take the team to go the Bigfoot.
I'll tell you what, it's a dream of mine that Bigfoot's football stadium is full of fans. Bigfoot's Our Common theme song is being played through the PA. Everyone singing along. The Bigfoots are coming out onto the field. The Bigfoots are coming. Oscar, man on a mission. our rap star Casanova Ace, and Boston Wrestling Federation. Thank you for having me, Staunch Moderates, on your show.
Yeah, we appreciate you we appreciate you coming on. And when you get some new breaking news, don't feel bad about coming back. You come right on back and let us know what's going on.
Absolutely. Would love to have you back. Before you go, quick question. How did you and Oscar, or Casanova Ace, as you may know him, what is your history? How did you guys come together in your musical orbit right now?
Interesting you should ask. Dan, it's fun that we are doing our league on a wrestling federation type news, Boston Wrestling Federation, wrestling and football. Go figure. How'd that happen? I'll tell you how it happened. It had started back in 2002. Casanova Ace, or Oscar, of Men on a Mission. We met at the Night of 100 Sons Oscar party. Isn't that right, Cass?
Yep. And then what
at
happened?
that party, Cass comes up to me and he says, "Hey, man, what's happening? Tell me about yourself." I go, "Well, I'm Greg Simmons. I'm a producer of a scripted comedy television show, Aspen the Series." Cass says, "Pitch it to me, man." I go, "Okay." I pitch it to him. I get halfway through my pitch. He goes, "That's enough." I'm like, "What do you mean that's enough?" He goes, "Come here, come here, come here. Everybody loves Raymond Seinfeld and Friends. The next big hit show is called Aspen. We've been working together ever since."
Isn't that great? I tell you, this is a man that can come up with a rap and a rhyme on just about anything almost instantaneously. It's such an unbelievable skill that he has.
Master poet, Casanova, he is. I'll tell you what. Just love the guy.
He's not sitting around with a pencil and paper. I mean, this just comes to him instantaneously, almost like a gift from the heavens above.
I appreciate that, guys.
When you're good, Oscar. That's all I can say.
The guy's got magic.
Well, thank you.
Do you have more projects coming down the road, or right now is the primary push this album that you guys have coming out?
The album, and evidently we're in the NFL expansion team business with Bigfoot's football. That's our proposed NFL expansion team, the Bigfoots.
Wow.
And one might ask, why in the hell would an intellectual movement be in the NFL expansion team business? Where the heck does that come from? And we've always told our movement with a football analogy. And while in the process of developing and producing this movement and album, more earlier on, the movement, we got experience in trademark law, and we searched, and the trademark was available, so we trademarked Bigfoot's football, and while we were at it, we trademarked Bigfoot's baseball. And then we've got this amazing poet, Casanova Ace, and one thing just came to the next, and we find ourselves in the NFL expansion team business, but on a more philosophical level. Why is that? And we feel that nothing has more gravitas in sports in the United States of America than NFL football.
Right.
It's got gravitas. We feel there's a gravitas of our message is also quite significant, and that message is peace. And that's what we're all about. We're all about celebrating all that's good in humanity and striving for national and world peace. That's why it's a fit. Gravitas of that message fits gravitas of NFL football. Our philosophy about football is extremism belongs on the football field.
Well, I mean, you guys have a very positive, upbeat message that I think is going to resonate with a lot of people in 2022 now as we enter the new year.
Well, that's the goal.
We're trying. We keep scraping at it. It's trudging the road of half a destiny here.
Well, plugging away sometimes is the only way you can do it, but you know what? Good things happen to good people if you continue to fight the good fight. You know what? If you keep knocking on doors, eventually one is going to open.
Hey, man, it's a great message, and I'm surrounded by very talented people, and we just keep working at it. We love what we do, so onward and upward.
Beautiful. Well, Oscar, before we go, any final thoughts from you and Gregory?
I just love this guy right here. I love the team. He's put together a masterful team. Rico Talbot produced the record. Meshach Taylor just continues to produce the videos. Derek Goodall in L.A., he works on the videos in a major way. Jordan Yaffe, our lawyer, Jordan, Wodas Fresh, our publicist, Edward Losey, our other publicist. We got quite a team going on. You would not believe the team of people that we're surrounded by that keeps this thing moving, and I wanted to acknowledge everybody. I sound like a Grammy or Oscar speech, but it's true. I could not do this without Greg, number one, and my team behind us. It has been a fantastic ride, and I can't wait to see what 2022 has got to offer with this thing.
Well, anytime you need a platform to promote anything on, you know you have the Monday Night Mission and everything we do here in Boston Wrestling Sports, whether it be our live event presentations or our video presentations, whatever it may be. Oscar, I have to ask you before you guys send along your final thoughts, did you collaborate with David Reese on any of these songs?
No, not this time. Maybe next time. But
he's a man of peace, that's for sure.
I want to reiterate, as far as collaborations go, we collaborated with Jeffrey Skunk Baxter, the guy who a founding member of Steely Dan.
Wow.
And then there was C.J. Vanston, Tears for Fears. He was in that group. They're on my record. I mean, it's been a real gift from Santa Claus when it comes down to making this record. And Greg, I can't thank you enough.
Well, you guys are doing a great thing, and I think 2022 is going to be an even bigger year from you, from what you're describing.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Boston Wrestling Federation rocks.
Well, Gregory, like I said, anytime you need us, you know how to find us.
Yeah, well, we're right here. We're going to let you slide because we know you're a very busy man, but thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Gregory. Really appreciate it an awful lot.
All right, Greg, thanks.
Staunch Moderates, official goodbye is mahalo, aloha, and peace out.
I love it. I'm going to steal that one, I think. Well, Oscar, it's unbelievable to think that our final episode of 2021 has come to an end.
Oh, man, I know. And then
where did the time go?
Where does it go?
Well, you're still trying to figure out how to get those 3 flights of stairs, but that's a different story for a different time.
Nah, man, I don't know. 2021 is a wrap for that, but maybe in 2022 I'll be able to go. It's funny you mentioned that. It's not as hard as it was when I first got here. It's one or two. Maybe I'm losing weight, or maybe psychologically I'm getting used to walking up the stairs. Either way, it's not as bad as what it used to be.
The next time I see you, you're going to be like a sheet of paper turned sideways, I bet, Oscar.
Cass is such a master. He levitates up the stairs these days.
I should hope so. No, Dan, I wanted to ask you another thing.
Please.
The April event, the Back to the 80s. Any problems so far, or is everything going okay?
Other than, the 500-pound elephant in the room, no, everything's going, pretty good right now. But we're still about almost 3+ months away. So, as you know, anything can happen. But if you're there, Oscar, maybe you could sing the song to the fans live. And maybe if you have promotional material, we could hand it out to the fans as they enter the venue about the album.
That may not be a bad idea. I could do a couple of my tracks there. I've got
to get stadiums rocking. Casanova.
He knows how to rock them, from MSG to Munich, Germany.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about that, because that might not be a bad venue to do it. You got hundreds of people know me, and doing the songs and letting them out. And that will be my first concert. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that and get into it. Let me clear that with Greg, and yeah, we can do that.
Maybe we could have Piggott come out and wave her arms like Mo and Mabel used to.
Okay, leave Piggott alone. See, no, you gotta stop. We want you in the building.
I think she'd look good in one of Mo and Mabel's outfits.
Shut up. Shut up. We want you in the building.
I'll be there in spirit, if nothing else.
No. We gotta negotiate this, and we gotta negotiate this so that you can actually come and be there and produce the show right. I told you, it was fluid, but it was a nightmare at the same time trying to do a show that you're producing and you can't even be in the
And I'm 2 blocks away, right? Well, maybe you could, in the new year, maybe you could shoot Piggott an email. We'll set you up an official at bostonwrestling.com email address. And, you know, as the VP, I think you need one.
You know what? I will talk to Piggott, but I can't talk to Piggott if you're going to continue to taunt the woman.
I would never do such a thing, Oscar. I would never do such a thing. Let me ask you this, though. Where you are a man, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, Oscar. As 2021 comes to an end, can you come up with a rap to end the year and guide us into 2022? I'm going to put you on the spot.
No problem.
Right now, he can do it.
Yeah. I'm against racism. I'm against bigots. And I'm against Dan for picking on Piggott. What we got to do is get it in gear. We need Dan in the house at our show next year. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get on the stage. I'm going to do peace. But before I go, it won't be late. Before I take the stage, yes, I'm going to lose weight. That is my challenge, and that is my calling. So I can get on the show and be balling. I can get on the show, not run out of breath, so that won't be the cause of my death. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a good time, and that is the end of this round. So from Boston Wrestling Monday Night Mission, this is the time we're in a good position. Say it like this, don't have no fear. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
Unbelievable. Gregory, one more time before we go, my friend. How can fans find this almost Grammy Award nominated song and album?
Go to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever major platform, and enter The First Realm, and the album should come right up. Enter Casanova Ace or DJ Staunch. So Staunch Moderate, DJ Staunch, or Casanova Ace, The First Realm album. Key in any
it's
of
everywhere.
those.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Unbelievable, fans. You have heard it. Another very interesting episode. I know Oscar on the Monday Night Mission is very interested in having more and more unique guests with us Monday night after Raw at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every week. Running out of time here on this episode for our new friend Gregory Simmons, along with Oscar, a.k.a. Casanova Ace in the world of music. I'm Dan Marotti. We thank you so much for joining us each and every Monday night here in 2021. We continue to thrive to bring you more and more great Monday nights at 11 p.m. in 2022. Plus, as we noted, Oscar and I are trying to come up with some more interesting content for you guys to enjoy, whether you be around the corner from us or around the world. Again, for Greg Simmons, Oscar, I'm Dan Marotti. We'll see you in 2022. Good night from Boston. Fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling's Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th.
It hits different live with WWE Super Show. Don't miss an epic main event.
Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston, King Woods, The New Day, Roman Reigns, and the Usos in a six-man tag team match.
Will the new arrivals on the Blue Brand disrupt the dominance of the Bloodline? It's WWE Super Show in Boston, Sunday, January 9th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. Get this WWE NXT TakeOver War Games 2020 11x14 limited edition autograph poster signed by everyone on the event, number 23 of only 100 made. Includes signatures from the Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, Io Shirai, Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley, Dexter, Loomis, and more. Comes with authentication hologram on the back of the poster. Also comes with mystery autographed 8x10 and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Wrestling fans, welcome back. Always interesting to hear from Oscar. He's working on some big things as the Vice President of Boston Wrestling Sports in 2022. Speaking of content we're looking to produce in 2022, get ready for Season 2 of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. We'd love to have Marty Jannetty back in studio ASAP to share his no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll look at the 80s and 90s, but we need your help to make it happen, folks. That's why we have an interactive prize-filled Indiegogo campaign ongoing now. You can find the link in the description box below or across our social media platform. Imagine if every fan watching donated $1. We'd bang that goal out in no time, and Marty would be back a-rockin' and a-rollin'. But again, we need your help. As noted, with Just Incredible unavailable for Wrestling Insiders Extreme, we had a mini-marathon introducing fans to the Berserker's new weekly program, but now it's time for this week's Wrestling Insiders Special Edition with the return of our longtime friend, the fun-loving Godfather. He shoots on breaking into professional wrestling from the adult Vegas nightlife scene, working in Memphis, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Germany, a young Undertaker, Jerry Lawler, Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and tons more. Get on board, baby. It's time for The Godfather. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti along with The Godfather. It has been a minute since we've seen you, my fine friend. Very happy to have you back with us. How are things going?
Man, I have been blessed. Things are going great. Life is good. I'm just living the dream, brother. Just living the dream, having the time of my life.
I think you've been living the dream most of your
Things haven't changed much for me. I don't have the hose with me all the time anymore, but I'm still having a lot of fun, man. And things haven't changed. I'm still, believe me, I'm still the Godfather.
Now, you have left your gentleman establishment that used to be a big part of the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. As we honor the wrestling greats, everyone would go and visit you and some of your female friends at the Cheetah Club. What got you out of that?
Well, we sold Cheetahs 3 years ago.
Oh, did you?
About
Okay.
a year before the pandemic hit, we sold it. And that kind of took me out of the business. But yes, the Cauliflower Alley Club and Cheetahs had a lot. We got to keep that quiet, but there was a lot of good times at the old Cheetah Club.
I remember how many of those limousines and party buses used to pull up around 10:30. The Gold Coast didn't know what was going on.
Oh my
They're not
God.
used to limousines at this place, but
Good times, though.
good times.
And the guys would get there at 10 o'clock at night, and the last man standing would be there at 7 in the morning because we were open 24 hours. But, I mean, they had a competition who was the last man standing. I don't know who won it every year, but it was one like at 7, 8 the next morning.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. A lot of great memories out of that for adult reasons. But and now you told me earlier you're involved with the talk show. You're involved with different products. I don't know if you want to mention that to the fans or even promote it to them.
Yeah, well, I have in California, I have my own legal strain of cannabis. It's with Dr. Green Thumb, who is Be Real and Cypress Hill. They have a bunch of dispensaries, I think 8 altogether in California. So I have my own strain there. I have my own strain, which is, it's no longer the hoe train, it's the smoke train.
The smoke train. I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
The smoke
I
train.
just noticed that.
Yes, and so I have my own cannabis products, and everything I'm doing is legal. I don't do anything underground. I'm here in Vegas. I have some pre-rolls coming out. I'm really involved. I do a lot of wrestling functions. I do a lot of cannabis functions. I do a lot of speeches because the fact that my whole story on cannabis is crazy and wild. And I tell that story, and I just basically tell people, I don't ever try to get people to smoke cannabis. My more thing is, I want to tell you what it's done for me. And maybe it can do it for you. I don't know. It's not for everybody.
Well, you know, my body is unfortunately physically disabled from that car accident I was in with the sheets. So, you know, I have had people suggest, some more aggressively than others, that there are ways it can help. It's funny, even during Rob Van Dam's speech, it actually came up at the Cauliflower Alley Club. I don't know if you would imagine that would come up during one of Rob's speeches. But
Rob, really?
But he said it can actually lead to you leading a longer life. I don't know if you know anything about that, but I found that to be fascinating, if true.
It saved my life. At 27 years old, I was Papa Shango. I was going through just a really horrible divorce. And I tried it for the first time at 27 years old. And at that time, I'm taking Somas, Vicodins, Vicapropins, Lacidils, Percocets, Halcyons, A to Z, right? And I'm taking them like vitamins, plus drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels a day. I tried cannabis. Now I'll still have a shot now and then in a beer, but I take no prescription medicine. I think it's either a leave or Advil is what the strongest. I think it's a leave. I'll do that, but no more prescription drugs whatsoever. I'm 60 years old now.
Really?
And yeah,
wow, okay.
Yeah. And I think it's preserved me. I think it saved me, and it's all around made me a better person.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Now, is there anything available online where fans can get information on it, or is there a way to access the podcast?
Unfortunately, it can't be sold through the mail. It can't be advertised that way.
Okay.
You have to be in California to buy it.
Okay.
And it's all throughout from Sacramento, San Francisco, LA, San Diego. There's a bunch of dispensaries, but you have to buy it in person.
But fans in California can certainly Google it.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
And what about the podcast that you're involved in?
I do the Dr. Green Thumb podcast. That's B Rose podcast. It's on 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I try to make it in there 2 or 3 times a week. If I don't make it in there, I do a Zoom. But we have a good time. They have a thing called the Asylum, and it's really cool. They really welcome me in there, and I don't let them down, believe me.
Isn't it nice to have some happy guests? I mean, you know, sometimes we have them on and they're bitter and they're angry. And like D-Lo, you're smiling from ear to ear. I love it.
Yeah.
I won't tell you the first word that came out of Kevin Sullivan's mouth last night.
I can imagine.
That's a long story. Someone took a shot at him at one of the speeches and he wasn't happy. But
yeah, I stay away from all that.
The Boston in him came out.
I stay out of all that, and I just kind of do like I always have. I kind of just do my thing. And
well, he's just following you on social media. You can tell that you're a man that enjoys, life now. Yeah,
I do. And I'm an empty nester for, the first time in my life. We have no kids. My youngest was 18. We just sent him off to college. So it's this is actually the first time. And I've been married 23 years. This is the first time that we've actually been empty nesters. We live alone. Because when I married her, I had a kid, she had a kid. And so we've never lived alone. And she's been in Peru the last 3 weeks. So.
Oh, wow.
Is
she looking for a new place? Or?
No, she's into the ayahuasca and the shamans. And
oh, wow.
She was out there just having a good time. She was supposed to get back today, but her flight's been delayed now until Saturday.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I need her home.
After 3 weeks, you must be missing.
I do miss her. The dogs are really missing her. They're not used to it.
The pets don't know how to handle it.
Oh my God.
The pets don't know how to handle it.
The dogs are just waiting at the door because I kept telling them, Mommy's coming home today. And they just waiting, looking at the door. And I had to tell them last night, oh, she's not coming home. But yeah, I miss her, but the dogs are really missing her a lot.
Now, if you were to move out of this fine city, where is it do you think you'd go?
Right now, if I were to move, I think I'd go up north, as into Washington, Oregon, maybe even Denver. I'm looking for something. I want to stay on the West Coast. I won't mind the rain because here in the desert, I've been here since 1984.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got out of college, and I'm tired of the heat and the humidity. Now it used to be no humidity here. Now, I mean, on a bad day, you could be 118 with 50% humidity, and it's unbearable. So I want to get out of this.
Well, let me tell you, we would kill for 50% humidity in the summer back in Boston. But you know what? For you guys to reach that high, that is high from what I know it to be.
It's hot. And
yeah.
At night, it's just as bad. At hot night, it'll be 105.
Yeah, we went up to the Strip the other night. My God, I couldn't believe it.
It's to the point where I can't take it. Pretty soon, I'm going to kind of retire and just kind of disappear. Probably next couple of years. So. I
mentioned that Kevin was a little hot under the collar when he showed up the other night, but he lives on a very remote island up in Washington State. As a guy that came from Key West, he absolutely loves it out there. Loves it out there. So, that might be a place for you to look. Washington State. I know a lot of people, because it's so far north, like Minnesota, Maine, Massachusetts, and places like that. You almost expect it to be snowy and wintry and things like that, but no, most of Washington is not. It's almost like Colorado. I mean, outside of the mile-high city, it's not a place where there's a heck of a lot of snow and things like that.
I could actually end up in Reno. That's where I went to school. Reno is nothing like Vegas. It's not the desert. You're up in the Sierra Nevada. It's Tahoe. It's really beautiful up there. But I actually want to. Stone Cold lives right out of Reno.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He's in Nevada?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's where he does his podcasts out of. He does it from his house. They built him a studio in one of his houses. Yeah, but he lives out there. I didn't know that either until I went there and did the podcast. But it reminded me.
You were on his show on WWE? Oh, that was out of his house?
Yeah, that's out of his house.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
It's about 45 minutes out of Reno.
Wow. Okay, that's really nice.
And I forgot how beautiful it was there.
Yeah, I've only been there once, but that's a nice area, yeah.
So I want to live someplace where at 9 o'clock at night, everything's shut down. You go to the market on Sundays to buy your vegetables. And I just want to chill and kind of just me, my wife, and my dogs. And just kind of, I want a stream or a lake up someplace really close, probably a couple acres, 3-bedroom little house, and just kind of maybe grow my little funny plants and do my thing.
Now, do you think the son father, once he's out of college, would want to stay here, or do you think he'd
no. All of my kids, they just couldn't wait to get out of Nevada.
Really?
I still have a daughter that lives here, but the rest of them got out. I have 2 sons that live in Florida. Now, Ty, no, they don't come back. Because once you get out of Vegas, you see that there's, nothing wrong with Vegas, but it's the desert.
Yeah.
It's the desert, and they built this community in the desert. There's no mountains, it's the desert, and I'm tired of the desert.
I got you. I got the feeling off of that. As we're in the first segment, you mentioned you've been here for quite a bit, but tell us about a young you. Obviously, you weren't born here in Las Vegas. Where did Charles Wright come into the world?
I was born at Stanford Hospital in Palo Alto, Stanford University. I was born right there. Raised in Sunnyvale, California, which is now Silicon Valley. where my parents bought a house in 1971 for $17,000. It's worth almost $3 million. That's how much property is out there.
Wow.
I was.
Do they still have it?
Yes. And
Wow.
They're both
Good
still
for
alive.
them.
God bless them.
Yes, exactly.
My dad's, I think, 91, and my mom's 87, but
Wow.
they're still doing good. And I was in high school from 76 to 79.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved out in 80 to go to the University of Nevada, Reno, and I basically never went back.
You've been in Nevada in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, after college, a friend of mine's dad owned the Topless Club out here, and I was working, making like I don't remember, maybe a couple $100, $200-300 a week after taxes. And I came out here, and my friend's like, my dad owns a strip club out here, and the guys make $300-400 a day. And I'm like, what? I went home. I was married. I went home, told my wife, we're moving to Las Vegas. And basically that's how it went. And I've always done pretty well. We had a house at the time, 2 cars, a Harley, and I worked for a trucking company for a short time. So they moved me out here, and I've been out here ever since.
Oh, wow.
But what a lot of people don't know is I was a basketball player. In 1979, I was Mid-Peninsula Basketball Player of the Year. And
Really?
that's Palo Alto, Oakland. I averaged my senior year, I averaged 20 points and 20 rebounds a game.
Wow.
And but my problem is I didn't want to play basketball. I wanted to play football.
Oh.
And the reason I was always a skinny kid. When I got out of high school, I was like 185 pounds, 6'5", 185. But I could jump. I mean, I high jumped in high school too. And so I always wanted to play football, but my mom and dad wouldn't sign the waivers because they said, you're going to get hurt. Just get with basketball.
Yep.
So I played basketball very aggressively.
Were you a regular forward, power
No,
forward?
I was a center.
Oh, you were the
But
center,
I was a
really?
2-foot jumper, and I could literally touch the top of the square over the basket. I could take one step, go up and touch it.
Wow.
I could really jump.
Yeah.
And I played center, and then I was just more physical. But then I got a scholarship to play basketball in college. But they didn't know that I played center. I never learned how to face the basket. I always had the basket to my back, and I would just overpower people. So long story, I started lifting weights while I'm under a basketball scholarship. I went from 180 to 250 overnight.
Wow.
Because back then, basketball players weren't allowed to lift weights. We weren't allowed to.
Really?
No.
It was prohibited.
They said it's going to ruin your game, your shot. You didn't lift any weights. You weren't allowed in the workout room.
Wow. I never knew that.
So no, back then they did not. At least at our school, the coaches didn't want you to lift. It's going to make you bulky. It's going to make you slow. So when I got to college, I started lifting weights, and I just swole up.
How did they react to you getting so big? Were they angry? Or?
I started hanging out with the football players and kind of not going to practice and kind of doing my own thing. And then one of the coaches from St. Mary's College in Moraga, he went to Reno and he told Coach Hall, hey, we got this basketball player that can dunk a basketball. He's 270 pounds. He can bench press 400 pounds. And he's got feet on him. He can move his feet. He's maturely quick. So I flew to Reno. I met the coach. They put a basketball in my hand. Now I'm starting my sophomore year in college now.
Okay.
Now I'm 270, and I'm like really powerlifting, and I have nothing to do with basketball anymore. So they gave me a basketball, and I'm dunking, and I'm shooting, and I'm dunking. They gave me a full ride scholarship to UNR, University of Nevada, Reno, where I had never ever played tackle football besides playing with friends with pads and all that. Never ever played. They gave me a full ride scholarship. They said, we're going to redshirt you this year. They'll give us 3 more years for you. We'll be able, yeah.
And how did it go?
I was doing pretty good. I got the first team and blew out my knee. And after I blew out my knee, things kind of started going in a different direction. I started, because I was hurt really bad, so I had a Harley.
Did you?
I started hanging out, working at strip clubs. And for extra money, I was bodyguarding strippers that were doing,
Really?
bachelor parties. I'm working in the clubs at night. Started getting tattooed. I just kind of changed. And so finally, I used to fight a lot. I used to get in a lot of fights. And so finally, to make a long story short, they got tired of me, and they're like, "Hey, we got to let you go, man. You're just a little bit too much for you to handle."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's where I got the name the Bear. You always hear Undertaker people say, "That's Bear." That's the Bear.
That's how I had known you as Bear.
That's
Yeah,
Bear.
yeah.
Big Bear.
And it stuck with you.
And to this day.
To this day.
Most people in Vegas call me Bear. They don't call me Godfather.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, wrestling fans. Fun introduction to this show. Great to have Godfather back with us. Right now, we're going to take a brief time out. We're going to talk more about his introduction into the world of the king of sports, professional wrestling. Stand by.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th.
It hits different live with WWE Super Show. Don't miss an epic main event.
Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston, King Woods, The New Day, Roman Reigns, and the Usos in a six-man tag team match.
Will the new arrivals on the Blue Brand disrupt the dominance of the Bloodline? It's WWE Super Show in Boston, Sunday, January 9. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. At Survivor Series, it was champion versus champion as WWE Champion Drew McIntyre battled Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Get this 11x14 poster autographed by all three men. Limited edition, number 42 of only 50, with authentication hologram on the back of the poster itself. Comes with a mystery autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders. Dan Marotti here in The Godfather. We thank you for joining us and spending some of your Wednesday night with us here after AEW Dynamite. We'd love your thoughts on the show. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have the little premiere chat going to share your thoughts on this interesting individual. The super chat button is always open to help us keep the lights on, and even the simple things. Give us a thumbs up, and you can hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. We have over 2,000 free videos you can enjoy now and new content 7 days a week. So we talked about your early life, your college sports career, or maybe at the end, the lack thereof, on how it ended up. What was it about professional wrestling? Were you a fan growing up? Did you?
You're not going to, well, you might believe this.
I'll believe it. I believe anything.
I was not a fan of wrestling.
Ever?
No, I wouldn't say ever. I just
well,
didn't.
Up until that point.
I was mind you, I came up in the 70s.
Mhm.
And in the Bay Area, roller derby was much bigger than wrestling.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The
yeah,
Cow
roller
Palace,
derby.
Civic Auditorium. Wrestling would come there, and you had Haystack Calhouns and people like that, right?
Mhm.
But they would draw half a house, and roller derby was there twice a week. They were there Friday and Saturday nights. They sold the place out. Back in the early 70s, roller derby was much bigger than wrestling.
What was the lady's name that was like the Hogan of roller derby?
Oh, I
I remember.
forget.
I read an article about her, and she passed
Totally-
away
yes.
maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I read an article about her, and it was fascinating because I really didn't know anything about it at roller derby other than it existed.
I have a friend now that skates for the T-Birds. They still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're based out of here in Las Vegas.
Where do they play? Play the
They're
right
not
way?
here. They usually go to San Francisco,
Uh-huh.
San Jose, Sunnyvale, that Northern California. It's still over there. I mean, they draw like a small house show would draw, but I mean, they draw and they have a good time. And you still have a lot of those old names. It's 50 over 50 years that I was watching it, so I forgot most of the names. But how I got into wrestling was they were filming a movie called Over the Top. It was a Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie. I think Scott Norton was in it, and other wrestlers were extras in it.
Mhm.
I worked at a club, a strip club called the Crazy Horse Saloon, and I was the manager, bouncer, bartender, everything. That's how it was back then. They had sawdust on the floor of this place. There was a lot of fighting, but I used to like to fight, so I was the perfect
Wasn't
place for it.
bothering you, yeah.
Well, a lot of those guys would come into the club
Mhm.
and drink. It was right down the street from the MGM, just a few blocks from the MGM. And
Oh, so they were taping this in Vegas?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was
okay.
done at the MGM here in Vegas. And so they would say, dude, and I'm just jacked. Now I'm Big Bear. Now I'm 320, and I'm bench pressing 550 pounds, and I'm squatting 600 pounds, and pulling 700 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm big. I mean,
Big.
I could send you pictures, and you'd be like, oh, I see
Oh,
what you
send
mean.
them along. We can do
Yeah, I
inserts
mean,
over
you
these
can show this,
conversations.
and you'll be like, oh my God, that's you. I actually lost weight to get into wrestling.
Wow.
And so they're like, I'm like, well, they said, you ever think about wrestling? I'm like, not really. And they're like, well, you ever hear of Bam Bam Bigelow? And I'm more of a biker now. I'm all tatted up and riding Harleys and like I always have.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, the dude with the tattoos on his head. They said, well, he made $1 million last year. And I went, how much? And so I started thinking about it. And back then, man, I was just big, strong, young, dumb, and you know the rest, man. Just big and strong, crazy. And I made a call to Larry Sharp, God rest his soul. And that's where Bam Bam went. Larry's like, if you get yourself out here, let me take a look at you. As soon as I got off the plane, he's like, oh my God. And I had a mohawk and this big. And so I went home.
The atypical 80s superstar.
Yeah.
Before you even stepped
Yeah,
in the ring.
yeah.
You had the look
Well, they're
already.
just looking at me going, oh my God. So I went home, told my wife, mind you, now I have a house in Vegas.
Oh,
And we have a child on the way. I'm like,
Oh,
we're
wow.
moving to New Jersey.
How did that go over with Mrs. Father?
She's so used to me just, at that point, that was my first wife.
Mhm.
She was just so used to me being like that guy that she's like, okay. And so I drove to New Jersey. She sold the house, moved to New Jersey. And I started at the Monster Factory. I was maybe at the Monster Factory 6 months at the most. And me and Larry Sharp are doing more drinking, chasing women than we are in the ring, and honestly. And Jerry the King Lawler shows up. And so he's like, hey kid, he goes, I want to bring you to Memphis. I'm going to pay you this. I think it was $500 a week. And that was
good
a
money
good
for that
time. There. I used to
territory.
make $300, $400, $500 a day, but it wasn't about that. I'm like,
Right.
okay. I think he said we're gonna pay you $500 a week in Memphis, which was good money. He goes, and I'm gonna do a program with you, and then after that, we'll see. So my very first match ever, no practice match, no warm up match, no exhibition match. I knew how to lock up, throw a kick, a punch, and for some reason they taught me a drop down toe hold. I think I was there that day that they were teaching that. Okay, so my very first match was against Jerry the King Lawler, and I went over.
Really?
My very first match, I became the Memphis heavyweight champion.
Now, was that at the TV studio or the Mid-South
No,
Coliseum?
that was at Memphis Mid-South Coliseum
Wow, so that was
on
a
a
Monday night, a big Monday night show.
Right,
Wow.
yes. That was my first match.
So Jerry Lawler was so taken aback by your look, he just said, well, for what he may lack in skill and knowledge thus far, we can try and make up for it. Just
No, he
on the
told me.
appearance. What he said?
Listen to me, kid, I'll get you through it. And he'd tell me, get your chest up, yell at the people, drop it down. He would tell me everything what to do. And that's how I started.
And how did it go?
It went great. It went great. So we did our program. And so at the end, they said, well, we'd like to keep you here. They said, but you're so green, we need to bring somebody else in. So they said, we're going to bring this tall, redheaded kid in.
Oh,
his name's Texas Red.
I know where this one's
And
going.
so they said, his name's Mark Calloway. So they brought Mark in, and he tells a story on the Stone Cold podcast. That you guys, I'm going to get into that story. But we had a match, excuse me, against each other, and it was so horrible that they said, we're going to put you two together. So they made us a tag team. And we were called Death Express.
Death Express?
Yes.
Never knew that.
I'll show you pictures of that. I have on my phone of me and him as a tag team. And from that point, we're not even brothers, man. I mean, we're more, that dude's my family, and we're more than friends. And we've been really good friends ever since that to this day. I'm doing actually a shoot with him about a gun shooting thing at the end of this month. But we talk all the time.
For fun or on TV?
I don't think it's going to be on TV. It's a company that he works with. It's like a 3-day event. You shoot one day, golf tournament, this and that.
So it's a variety.
Go up in helicopters and shoot targets. It's one of those type of things.
Well, if you want to mention the Paul Bearer toy drive, I don't know if he's familiar with it, but please.
I will.
Please, tell him.
I'm sure there's going to be,
I'm sure he'd love to be involved if he knew about it. Even just sending a couple of pictures along or something.
Yeah, I will get a hold of him about that. Yeah, I did think about that.
Nothing against a woman near and dear to my heart, who I like to call Mrs. Claus in Stamford, Connecticut, with her wonderful British accent. But for whatever reason, she never put that 2 and 2 together, even though I dropped the hint. But and nothing against her, because without her, it would be no toy drive.
She's the best.
She is the sticking glue. I was disappointed she wasn't able to come this year because nothing huge, but just a little health problem, but she wouldn't want to risk traveling. But you know, it was a shame I didn't get to see her in person this year. You know, one thing that bothered me every year is a thank you leading up to Christmas because of the toy drive. I always send along a nice big Christmas bouquet to her, and I had no way to send it last year because of coronavirus.
Oh, man.
So we're going to have to go big in 2021. You know what? I don't even know if she's back at Titan Tower yet.
She is. I think she's, now that Howard's no longer with us, I think she's the longest running employee there. Her employee number is probably 1, 2, or 3.
She started in '86.
Not before that, you sure?
You know, I know it was '86. Howard and Ed Cohen, they hired the two of them in '82.
Yeah.
But I don't know of anyone in between. I know Tim White's been around a long time, but I don't know
Well, I
about
hope she's
86.
okay. They didn't call me this year. Did the WWE have a table?
They had 2.
Yeah, they usually have 2 tables.
And out of 20 seats, they had 5 people from WWE.
Nobody called. Well, I wasn't here anyway.
You wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, right?
Yeah,
isn't that funny that they didn't call you? Yeah. So they.
Well, it's probably because Sue probably wasn't involved with it. She's the one that always calls me, and because Sue's a trooper. Sue would go to Cheetahs too. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, kid yourself. Sue's hipper than she is.
I know Marty Jannetty on one of our shows told us the story about how she was the lady love of one of the New York Jets for a period of time. Sue was
she had it going on.
She may be one of the most lovable, kind, giving human beings you'll ever meet, but she's got that fun side too. Good for her.
Yes, she
I didn't know she made it to the club.
More than once. I'm gonna be quiet, but believe me, Susan. It wasn't her first time in a club, I'll tell you that.
She earned the Warrior Award, I guess.
Yes, she did. God bless her. She's great.
In more ways than one, I guess she was a
great
warrior.
People. And, you know,
no, definitely. No, all
especially what she's done for the Make-A-Wish Foundation all over these years. So,
you know, people mention, and with Just Do, that John Cena has done over 500 Make-A-Wishes and more than any other actor, celebrity, athlete in the world. But if you really want to look at the person that's done the most, it's Sue Aitchison.
Yes.
She's involved in every single one of them with every single superstar that's involved.
You're right.
And I love when she said it because it just speaks to her heart in her character and integrity. She said, I never had any kids of my own. I look at each one of those kids as my own.
Oh,
And isn't it just a nice thing to say?
yeah, I just hope she's okay.
No, it doesn't, as far as I know, it has zero reason to
I'm
worry.
gonna
It's
text
just-
her when we're
Traveling is just something right now.
Yeah.
She's just working out of the house. And you know what? Hey, good for her. I'm glad she's still with them. You know what I mean? Like you said, since 1986, that's a hell of a run in WWE.
Yes, sir.
There are guys that are lucky to make 12 months nowadays with the number of the releases that they have. But so tell us about, was it the Nightmare Express that you were called?
Death Express.
Death Express, okay.
He was Master of Pain.
Okay.
And I
I've heard
was
that.
Soul Taker.
Soul Taker and Master of Pain.
And
Death
then,
Express.
and then we were together for a short time because he went to Japan. When he came back from Japan, I went to Japan.
Oh, I didn't even know you know that part of it. Who'd you work for in Japan?
That was Inoki.
New Japan.
New Japan.
Okay, yep.
And so when he got back from Japan, I kind of went in as his understudy. And then when I got back from Japan, he was in WCW as me, Mark. And then I went to Germany and worked for Autobahns.
Really? Okay.
Listen who's on that card. Chris Benoit, Owen Hart, Vic Finley, Dave Taylor, Scott Hall, PM News. I mean, Rambo. Thus, we were there for like 8 months.
And you know what? For the fans at home that may not be familiar with the German wrestling experience, explain how it's different than
You
most
do it in
parts of the world.
rounds.
Yeah.
They're in rounds. It's a lot different, and you have breaks, but I don't know if they're still doing it, but it would draw every night. And you would be in Hanover for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and you'd go to Dortmund for so many weeks.
It was almost like the circus.
Yes.
Yeah.
You followed the Oktoberfest. It was, and you stayed in caravans, like trailers, and you were right outside the building. And I didn't stay in them, but most of the boys, for some reason, I
you
was
had other
always,
places to find.
well, for some reason, I've always been able to talk to the girls. So I would stay, I swear to you, this is true. I didn't speak Deutsch, right? So I would take my bag and I'd go to the club or the Tophaven or whatever they were called. And Dave Taylor would speak German to girls and he would talk to them and they'd be like, I would go home and live with them for like 2 or 3 weeks. I would drive their car, go pick up Scott Hall, Owen Hart. I'd pick us up and go to the gym, drive us around. Oh, dude, I had the time of my life in Germany.
And you said you stayed there about 8 months?
Yes, 7, 8. We were in Austria too, Wien, Graz, Seeborn. We were really around. And so when I came back from that, Taker was in WCW or WWE at the time. And so I got a tryout and Vince hired me. And he says, I'm going to put you on payroll. He goes, I got a problem. I got to do something with your face. He goes, you got a body of a monster, but you have a baby face. And he goes, I want you to be a heel. So he goes, we got to come up with something. Hence, Papa Shelby.
Well, we're going to get there as time goes on. We're getting the wrap-up cue from Captain Lou in the back. Right now, we're going to take a brief time out. We'll be back with more Wrestling Insider Special Edition. Stand by.
Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. since July of 2020. Every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep mighty rocking each and every Thursday night.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Arguably the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Get this limited edition collector's autograph print personally signed by two-time WWE Hall of Famer Nature Boy Ric Flair, inscribed 16 times for each of his recognized World Championship reigns. One of only 50 made direct from our friends at WWE. Also signed by original artist Rob Schamberger. Help keep wrestling legends working. Get this awesome Ric Flair collectible for your wrestling collection now. Wrestling fans, get ready for a weekend of the unpredictable as the Berserker, John Nord, returns to MWF Studios in Melrose the weekend of Saturday, January the 22nd. Wrestling Insider Throwback Thursday tapings, live episodes, watch-alongs, cyber autograph signings, and more. Boston Wrestling Patreon fans can meet the Berserker for free. For more information and mail order info, head on over to thebostonwrestling.com super site now. Don't miss the Berserker, January 22nd.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to the third and final segment. Don't be too disappointed. It's not going to be the only time he's here with us. But the final segment of this episode, learning things about the gentleman I didn't even know about. I knew about Memphis. I had no idea that you were making those trips over to New Japan and to Germany. Did you interact at all in Memphis with another great friend of the show, a man that I think the world of, Dirty Dutch Mantel? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Here's Dirty Dutch. He used to chew tobacco. He called me Soul. Hey, Soul. Hey, listen here, so Dirty Dutch tried to fire me.
Why?
Probably because I couldn't work.
Really?
And, but I mean, we were drawing. He's like, hey, so sorry, but we're going to have to let you go. And he goes, we're going to finish you up this week and wish you the best. And I'm like, I'm cool. I always had strip clubs. That's why you've always seen me come and go. Because I always had.
You had great backup.
If it wasn't about the money for me in wrestling, that's a whole other story. It was about having fun. So when I wasn't having fun, I'd be like, well, I just go back home and make money doing nothing. But so then I went to Lawler and I'm like, thanks for bringing me out here and this and that. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, Dust just finished me up. He goes, no. He goes, no. He goes, no, you're not finished up. And so I never heard another thing about it. But Jerry said, no, you're not finished up. So.
You think he was just ribbing you, or was that the office?
I think maybe Jarrett or somebody, not Jeff Jarrett, but maybe Jarrett gave him a little bit of power. And he's like, well, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to get rid of him. And without checking with people. And they're like, no, you're not getting rid of him. He's one of the only monsters we got.
And what about memories of one of the last of the Mohegans when it comes to the territorial promoters? Jerry Jarrett himself. Any memories of him?
We used to do all of our interviews at his house, I think, on Saturdays.
At his home?
Yes, at his home, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we would do it at the
studio? Or?
No, yes, he had a little studio in his house. Nice property out there in Tennessee. But only time I seen him is when we taped interviews. But he was never like down at the arenas and stuff. It was always Jerry running things, Mr. Coffee, and those type of people. But I never see him around the buildings. We'd see him when we had to go cut interviews at his house.
That's interesting. I'd never heard that before. Yeah. And then what about a young Jeff Jarrett, who you must have been around?
I've been around Jeff. Good guy. I have no problems with Jeff. Had some great matches with him.
Did you?
Good dude. I have no problems with Jeff Jarrett whatsoever.
Interesting. How many people can look at pro wrestling and say, I'm a third-generation superstar? And at the top of that list of the family lineage was my grandmother.
Right.
Teeny Jarrett, who used to promote cities in the Memphis territory. So, I mean, Jeff is someone I'd love to sit down on one of these interviews and pick his brain. What an interesting, family life to say that their grandmother was a professional wrestling promoter. Yeah. Again, just the unique individuals we come across
That's-
on our journey in this business.
That's why when I hear things like this, I try to catch them. You just learn so much about it. I've known that guy for 20 years, and I didn't know that, and I didn't know that, and I'm like, it's pretty interesting. People have no idea about. I'm so different than what people think I probably am.
Sure. And that's why they're fun, like you just said. What about Bill Dundee? He was someone that would book from time to time.
The Giant Killer. I didn't have any problems with the mates. Taker didn't really care for him, and Taker stretched him one time.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah, on his way out. And but I didn't work with Bill that much. I didn't have no problem. But he was over for a little midget.
For a little midget, I like that.
You know, that little midget would want to. If you'd help him, he'd try to power slam you.
You know, not the most physically imposing professional wrestler I think one has ever seen.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, but he was over. I mean,
that territory, yeah.
In Memphis, he was over.
Yeah, yeah. Any other unique entities that you may have come across that fans may be familiar with during that time period in USWA?
Oh my God, there was Chris Candido.
Candido?
Chris Champion. I remember guys by like Buff Bagwell was the handsome stranger.
Didn't he wear like a little man?
Yes, like a Chippendale.
Yeah.
Raven. He was
in Memphis, really?
Yes, he was Chris Champion.
I didn't know that.
He was Chris Champion.
Wow.
He had a brother. Another champion. I don't know if it was his real brother or not.
Or maybe a work.
Dirty Dutch Mantel, Dirty White Boy, Dirty White Girl, Kevin Dillinger, Brian Lee. Brian Lee was there.
The evil Undertaker.
Yes,
That's
evil.
right. Yeah,
Brian Lee was there. Robert Fuller was there. Jeff Jarrett was there. Lawler was there. Dundee was there. I mean,
it was a heck of a territory.
Yeah, man, and we ran religiously.
And did you notice that a lot of the guys would run into the troubles that we mentioned earlier, as far as when you said I was coming in for $500 a week, I almost choked. Because you hear the stories of, you know, the guys that, like I remember Marty Jannetty, he does a show with us every Thursday night, which I'm sure you watch religiously. But he said, you know, it was so bad that him, Sean, and the Nasty Boys lived in a one bedroom apartment together. They'd all kind of flip-flop and share, and that was the only way they could make ends meet.
I came in as a $500 a week guarantee. After that Lawler run,
it changed. I
start making $30 on a Monday and $40 on a Tuesday, and Evansville, Indiana, make $25. All of a sudden now you're getting paid on Wednesdays, and after a week you made $90.
Oh,
okay. Right. And we're staying 3 to a room. And I always thank God I always had money put away. But I mean, you roughed it. I would stay with strippers. I would, the Admiral Bimbos, I think they were called, at the hotels. And I would stay with the strippers that would, like, in the weekly rooms. Oh yeah, I'd have 2 or 3 stripper girls that I'd live with. They took care of us. And yeah, man.
Isn't it funny? You know, I hate to say it, but we, Tony Atlas is a unique entity in and of himself with his feet, but we replaced his talk show not too long ago with one aimed more towards the ambiance and the superstars in the era that was ECW, which is still loved by many. And we had New Jack in the studio just 6 days before he passed. Wow. It was very eerie. But he talked about his Memphis experience and so on and so forth. And he said the way they would make ends meet was that after the shows, him and Mustafa, wherever they were, they would try and find rats that had places of their own.
Rats or
and they would.
You had to survive. They would cook for you, give you someplace to eat.
Laundry? Maybe the biggest perk is if they do the laundry. Yeah.
I mean, we were rough with it, man. I mean, it'd be me, Taker, Dirty White Boy, Dirty White Girl, and a Ford Escort, you know, driving 200 miles from Nashville to Memphis to make $40 a piece.
Isn't it crazy that the sacrifice that you guys went through for literally nothing? But in the end of the day, it's all about the journey. And look at what your train, no pun intended, has been. Starting out and moving all the way across the country to New Jersey, going up to Memphis,
all over the
Japan,
country.
I'm sorry, New Japan, those unique German experiences that you had working that. I've never heard of an atmosphere like I've heard about Germany as far as those
Great. People were great.
carnival-like atmosphere.
Great. Crowds were great.
Nice people too?
Nice, really nice. Well, real nice.
Well, I don't know if his name will ever come up again, but what about Otto himself? What was he like as a promoter?
Great promoter, him and Dennis Williams. But Otto was the great promoter, great guy, great to work with. Guy, I think he passed maybe 10 years ago or so. But a lot of people don't know about Otto. He had a record for ripping phone books in half.
Did he?
He had the record in Germany or maybe the Guinness World Book of Records on how fast he could rip a phone book. And that was his strongman thing. And he had a roll that Cannonball Grizzly used. The Big Otto was his finish where he'd just roll over you. And that would be the big. It was a great learning experience for me.
And
great
work every night.
Every night.
In the same city for weeks.
Now, you might have the night off, but they ran. And then on Saturdays, they had a free show. But the Hills weren't usually part of that. I was Rocky Las Vegas.
That was your name?
Yes.
Rocky
and I
Las
beat,
Vegas?
at the very last match, it's for the Catch Cup, I beat Scott Hall. It was the Catch champion that year.
Really?
I beat Scott Hall.
Well, you know, what a trivia question that's going to be someday. If we
Catch champion.
Do you remember your battle for the Catch championship over in Germany and who you put over to not win it?
Yeah.
So I have to throw that out at him.
Yes, sir.
But, you know, I thought Otto Wan's very, not that I didn't know a heck of a lot about him. I know John Layfield had some interesting stories about him over
That's
the
where I
years.
met John out there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
He was out there too at that
He
around that
came
same
in,
time?
excuse me, I came back to do Stan Hansen was there, Terry Funk.
Oh, wow.
I was Papi Shango, and we came back into territory for Bremen as their big show at the end of the year, I think November. And that's when I met John.
Really?
Yeah.
And what, for the heck of it, memories of a very, very young, green John Layfield.
I
at that
remember
point.
that me and my wife in there. In a lot of those hotels, they only have one bathroom for like the whole hallway. There's one bathroom.
Oh my God.
And that's how a lot of those old, in Australia and Germany, a lot of them, well, you're in small little towns. And I told him, I said, I'll come, but I want to stay in a hotel that has my own bathroom. And so when I got to the hotel, I didn't have my own bathroom. So I kind of did a little diva fit about it. And I remember John's like, hey, Al, you know, and I'm like, John, nothing against you guys staying in these places, but that wasn't my deal. And I said, if you're going to learn one thing, if they have a deal, don't let them break it, or they'll be breaking it all the time. They promised me a bathroom.
Give them an inch.
Yeah.
Take them
And
out.
so they booked me in another hotel that had a bathroom. And that was my first encounter. And John always like, I remember you telling me that, because that was so true. I'm like, dude, stick with the deal. I'm living up to my side, now you live up to yours.
Well, you know what? I hope he is someone that, as we continue this great interview series, will come up much further down the road. But, you know, I think there's so many misconceptions online by people that have never met him. I think the world of him. I think he's a great guy. WWE was kind enough to let him do some work with us when he was the Intercontinental Champion, which is a lot for a regional independent promotion such as ours to have the Intercontinental Champion as part of the face and part of the angles and so on. And no one's perfect, especially in wrestling. There are some people that may be a little too sensitive to be part of our industry and take things the wrong way. Not everybody that was almost like me. I'd love to be the first baseman for the Boston Red Sox, but I don't think that was meant to be. You know what I mean? And the same can go for wrestling. It is not for everybody. And there are the Rons and the Johns and the Bobs and they would weed out those that didn't exactly belong.
I would never call John a bully. He's old school, and he was brought up with Billy Duncan and all guys and the Lanzas and the Blackjack. He was brought up old school, so he kept those old school beliefs and old locker room beliefs. So, you know, a lot of like people today probably no way they can handle somebody like John, but he was just, he didn't go around just bullying people. I never seen that side of him, and I spent a lot of time with him and Ron. A lot of times. I've been in a lot of fights with those two guys. We've been in a lot of country bars. Ron and John weren't strip club guys. They were country bar. Ron would just
Ron was a country music
Ron didn't care. Ron didn't care what it was.
He just wanted something.
He just wanted to go out and have a drink. Bradshaws, but believe it or not, I like the country bars. I got in a lot of fights in those places.
All right, wrestling fans. Right now we're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we are going to wrap up the journey with the one, the only, the Hall of Famer, choo-choo, the Godfather. Stand by.
Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling's Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th. Fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Johnny, the momentum here in Boston Wrestling continues as we continue to build and build and build. The fans want to know, how do we help? We subscribe to the Patreon, but we see all the great merchandise on that set. Coronavirus may have killed the nightlife, especially for someone like Marty, but our acclaimed eBay store is open 24/7 around the world.
Wow. Check it out.
The Undisputed Era kicked ass and took no prisoners in WWE NXT. Now you can own this limited edition collector's autographed art print personally signed by Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. Also signed by the original artist, Rob Schamberger, one of only 50 made direct from our friends at WWE. Help keep wrestling legends working. Get this awesome collectible for your collection now.
All right, wrestling fans, we had so much fun catching up with our old friend, the Godfather, which means I think we only have to do it again several more times.
Oh, of course.
I would love to turn this into a regular thing, but you know who's in charge? Not me. Them. If they want you, you got to tell us. We have that premiere chat box open during the premiere of the show after AEW on Wednesday nights. Share your thoughts on the show. Let us know what you think. The super chat button is open. That helps us keep the lights on. If you give us a big thumbs up, if you subscribe to the channel, that lets the YouTube algorithms, I don't even know what an algorithm is, but it lets these...
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it is hard to say. It lets them know that you like us. There are millions of fans that left wrestling after the big 80s boom. There are millions of fans that left after the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. And even though they might not enjoy pro wrestling as much in 2021, they might find talk shows like this and absolutely love them. So spread the word. Let us know we're here. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well, stay healthy. Good night from Las Vegas.
Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling's Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th. Fans, did you enjoy that interview with the Godfather? If so, it's more important than ever to join the Boston Wrestling Patreon family as we want to bring you more original episodes with The Godfather. So much fun, so many memories, such a great long career he had. We're out of original episodes with Demolition Axe. We'd like to get him back ASAP. We want to offer you early, full-screen, ad-free access to Wrestling Insiders, the world-renowned studio shoot interview DVD library is seen by millions online and millions more on The Howard Stern Show. Patreon exclusives and more. Again, the address, patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. As we noted, on Christmas Day, we had a Patreon exclusive watch-along with the Berserker, where we broke down a championship match with Bret the Hitman Hart. And today on New Year's Day, to kick off a new year, Demolition Axe, and another Patreon exclusive, watched Demolition win the WWF Tag Team titles for the very first time from Strikeforce at WrestleMania 4. All that content and more, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos, I believe well over 300 at this point, are available. Again, patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Up next, it's our brand new series fans are absolutely falling in love with, Episode 3 of Wrestling Insider's Throwback Thursdays with the Berserker, John Nord. This week, the big man shoots on his WWF debut in 1991, a tinkering with his name, Coco Beware, Mr. Perfect, Pat Patterson, and tons more. Here's the Berserker.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome to another Wrestling Insiders Throwback Thursday. I'm Dan Marotti, along with my new partner in crime, John Nord. Very happy as we wind down 2021 to have you part of our extended family. I'm grateful for that.
Oh, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for the fans that are listening right now, you guys. I hope you enjoy it. I really do.
Well, we want to keep continuing. Again, if you're watching the premiere on Thursday night with us, you can leave messages as you're watching in the premiere chat, or if you're not watching live, in the description box below. Of course, super chats are always appreciated, and we'd like to, again, hopefully we're going to be having John with us again in a few weeks. Maybe set up another one of those live cyber autograph signings where you can get a picture and interact with the man live. I know we had so much fun when we did it a couple of weeks ago right here in the studio, leading up to the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. So
Paul Bearer, God bless his heart.
God bless him. We miss him. But I tell you this, I hope you and the Nord family, even though it was kind of a difficult year because of your dad, we hope you had a nice Christmas.
We did. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
And now that it is December 30th, and we're just a couple of days away from another big one, any New Year's resolutions in the world of John Nord?
Well, how about you? Anything? Come on now.
I got a couple.
Do you?
Yeah.
Would you like to name them?
I would like to have things be in a better place with Linda Marotti, so things are easier with the kids, being able to navigate my interactions with them.
Yep.
Interesting person that came into my world of late, that's into tarot and things like that. I don't know if you believe in that sort of things, but they made some very interesting calls in my world that I hope are true. I'd like to see
live I've heard
event
about that.
When we go back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th, 2 blocks away at Memorial Hall. We want to see a packed venue with you, Jake the Snake, Demolition, and all the other greats coming in.
Oh, man, it will be.
I want to see these talk show series continue to grow. So my big thing is, and I know Marty always gets pissed, is that I like to use the phrase, let's keep wrestling legends working.
I like that.
He goes, oh, man, no.
Why would he care about that?
You're trying to make us all sound like we're poor and destitute.
Yeah, Marty, you're taking it too personal.
Not everybody's getting a 6-figure Legends contract from Vince.
Now, you're taking it way too personal.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
That's the one thing. Matter of fact, ain't that a good year's resolution? Is don't take stuff personal.
That's a good one. I like that one too.
Most people don't mean it personal. They're just being people.
Well,
and go ahead.
No, Marty's entitled to his opinion. I just disagree with him.
Absolutely.
That's all.
I love Marty. I can tell you times we've been, oh my God, I won't even want to tell you about the times that we were doing.
Well, why not tell Marty's story? Because Thursday night used to be Marty's night until we ran into a couple of the quote-unquote technical difficulties. But how about a fun Marty story on his night?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you my resolution. My resolution is this.
Be here with us every week.
My resolution is never lie to defame, or what's that word I'm looking at, anybody's character. I don't want to hurt anybody's character, anything. I don't think I have, but I want to stay on top of it. I want to keep just telling the truth. I do not want to rip people apart like they're no good. That one I want to stick to. Now, the Marty story. Marty, well, of course, you heard about the, so-called murder in the river.
Which happened on here on the show. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, I heard. And it never happened, right?
Now, you say it didn't happen.
That
the
never
Chattahoochee
happened.
River?
It never happened.
Why do you say it never happened, John? Because I'm going to come back with my reason why, but I want you to go ahead.
The reason why it didn't happen?
Whoop.
Number one,
Sorry, Bruno.
the police are not that dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, Marty is the type of guy to want to get everybody talking.
That's
It's
true.
born inside of wrestlers. Like, what can I say that makes the whole wrestling world talk? What could it be? Let me see. I climbed up Mount Shasta and sat there and had a 12-pack in my underwear. Anything like that. But Marty chose to say something that they could never prove and that he could never get in trouble for because it didn't happen. So bring the police on. It never happened. I know, if you know Marty, you know it didn't happen. And I know him, and I know that it didn't happen because it's the perfect thing to say because it's not the truth. They could never prove it, on and on and on.
It happened
What
back
do you
in the
think?
early 70s.
Yep.
As he claimed. For those fans that may have missed what went on in the summer of 2020 here in this fine studio, Marty had alleged that, there was a man that attempted to violate him when he tried to buy weed from him. It is, I think, 14 years old.
Right.
And his only way to try and stop the attack was
Yeah.
to use a brick on the guy's head, and he just continued to use it until the man needed to be rolled into the Chattahoochee River. And this is obviously the pre-internet days in the 70s and so on. And
Of course,
again, how do you
of
prove
course.
it? I don't know. I know it got a lot of attention in all of the New York
Well, it's what he
newspapers
wanted.
and TMZ,
Dan?
and we had Inside Edition calling this TV studio.
Did ya?
We sure did.
Well, then it worked exactly what he wanted.
But here is why. Two reasons. One thing about Marty is, and like you said, he does like to get people talking, but, I think there is, almost like we had discussed before, he has always gone with that phrase, the first time you tell complete and utter bullshit, everybody's going to suspect everything you say with bullshit.
Yeah.
Second reason I give it a grain of truth, or I believe there may be truth to it, aside from private conversations with him, is that I don't know if it would be, we can talk off the air on who it was, but someone that I consider a very dear friend and a very honest person within the industry said to me, WrestleMania week, we were talking, we had a chance to catch up.
Yeah.
He said, the reason I believe that to be true is because back in WWF in 1996, he told me the same story. 24 years earlier.
Okay.
So maybe it didn't happen exactly the way he described. Maybe he changed some parts around. I don't know.
Possible. I might be wrong.
I hope-
might be wrong.
I'll say
And
this,
you know what?
I-
That does help. That it might be true. But here's the thing. It's working the way he wanted it to work.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, law enforcement is so unbelievably detailed, and they are like hounds that will keep going till they find the truth and get the guy. Very few people can kill a guy in the 1970s and get away with it. If the guy was in the river and they found that he was missing and they looked for him, they would have found it. Guaranteed. Now, Marty, I'm telling you right now, there's nothing wrong with coming clean, or there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't care what you guys said. I did it. But then...
No, I don't think he wants to go to jail.
But then I don't think he wants to go to jail. Okay? So here's the deal, Marty. The reason I don't think it's true, again, it's a perfect thing to say. I've said stuff 20 years ago that I say now. It's the truth, but I say it. I hardly ever tell anybody about maybe some girl I'm with, that she's just like, butt ugly. And I'm embarrassed. I was with her that night, and God bless her heart, don't mean anything anyways. And then 20 years later, I still tell people that I was with her. Well, that's very doable. So I don't think it's a subject really worth going on, because it just is, I don't give it any credibility.
Well,
I don't.
If you're in, I forget even the name of the city, but rural Georgia, with what I imagine are limited resources as it is to begin with, how much time are you going to dedicate to a missing potential pedophile from the early 70s? I'll say this, if the story is true, I think Marty did the world a favor, because I don't think that probably would have been the first time the man ever tried to attack a kid, and it probably wouldn't have been the last time the man tried to attack a kid.
No.
So good riddance with him floating down the river if it is true.
Well, that is very, I concur. I totally agree with you. I just think, from being in trouble myself and knowing some policemen that were actually in my wedding, they don't miss much. Yeah. They don't miss much. They're going to get what happened then. Not in a year from then, not in 5 years, not in 10 years, and then 30 years after you tell them. No, they're going to get them then. And that didn't happen. That's why I don't think it's true.
So
it's just happening the way he wants it to happen. Is there's people talking about it.
You think there's enough intel now in 2021 to figure out something even that old from, you're talking almost 50 years ago now?
No, I don't. I think it's probably all disintegrated if it did happen. But, I mean, it's all just it's in, river. That's why people put stuff in the river and the ocean. Because most of the time the law...
They'd have to do a lot of looking.
They got to do a lot of looking, especially in that damn ocean. The river that he supposedly used it in is not that big.
Do you know the Chattahoochee?
No, but it's not that big, is what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So with that feeling that it's not that big, here's the point, is... They would have got on it then. You think a guy is missing and they're not going to look right there and then and keep looking till they find it? They don't just go, the guy's missing. Oh, give me a call when you find him. No, it don't work that way. No.
All right, wrestling fans, you heard it from the horse's mouth, the man that knows Marty very, very well, like we got to know him on Thursday nights with Party with Marty. Right now, we're going to take a brief timeout. When we come back, we're going to dive into the world of John Nord in the World Wrestling Federation. Stand by.
Cheer. Why, hello. I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product. So support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer.
Wrestling fans, get ready for a weekend of the unpredictable as the Berserker, John Nord, returns to MWF Studios in Melrose the weekend of Saturday, January the 22nd. Wrestling Insider Throwback Thursday tapings, live episodes, watch-alongs, cyber autograph signings, and more. Boston Wrestling Patreon fans can meet the Berserker for free. For more information and mail order info, head on over to thebostonwrestling.com super site now. Don't miss the Berserker, January 22nd.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marotti.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It was all over BostonWrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now available on eBay.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. At Survivor Series, it was champion versus champion as WWE champion Drew McIntyre battled Universal champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Get this 11x14 poster autographed by all three men. Limited edition, number 42 of only 50, with authentication hologram on the back of the poster itself. Comes with a mystery autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders Throwback Thursday. I'm Dan Marotti along with your host,
The Berzerker.
John Nord, the Berserker, Nord the Barbarian.
Welcome
to his humble abode. Thursday nights for now are going to be the night of Nord.
Yes, sir.
All right. The nostalgia, it is big in 2021. It could be bigger in 2022 for all we know.
I think it is.
There's so many fans that are disgruntled by quote-unquote sports entertainment that is on TV nowadays. They crave the wrestling they knew and loved.
I love it.
I know you're
I feel the same way as the fans.
Do you ever watch the product anymore?
The wrestling?
Yeah.
Not a lot. Because I know Wayne Bloom's son
is
Von Wagner.
Yeah.
So he's getting a push. That's why I watch it, to watch him and see how he's doing, and kudos to him. They're going to give him a push.
Now, that's funny. He follows us on Twitter. Maybe he'll come across these talk shows.
Here's the thing. Wayne and his son's real name is Cal.
Yeah.
Okay? Both them are really scared to go on any talk shows or on any kind of show at all, or statements or what they think or quotes or anything, because they're afraid that Vince is going to hear it and get mad and fire him.
Right.
Which is not the case. I've been in arguments with Wayne and say, Wayne, these guys want you. You can pick up some cash, and you're worried about you saying something that would affect Cal, that would affect Vince. It don't work like that, dude. Come on.
Well, like I said, even Cal, if he's on Twitter, maybe he'll come across a link to one of our interviews that he could enjoy.
Maybe, but I know they're both scared as hell.
No, they won't do their own.
They're just scared as can be. And if Wayne's listening right now, Wayne, I love you like a brother. But listen, there's nothing to be scared of, man. Nothing.
All right, well, 1991, the big year where it all began for you with WWF. Take us back to the WWF Superstars television taping. January the 7th, John Nord, as John Nord, defeats Pat Rose with a pile driver. Take us back to that moment in time. What's going on in your world?
What year was that?
That was January 7th of 91.
In the WWF?
Yes, your first TV taping with them.
Take us back to that. I was billed as the Viking.
No, in this match you were just John Nord. It was a dark match. It wasn't used.
It was a dark match?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, was this more of a tryout? Was it?
No, I signed.
You had already signed.
Got locked in. Yeah, I was got locked in. I had a lot of steam behind me anyways. Was Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude, even if Rick wasn't working.
He was just about done as you finished up.
Hawk. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hawk. And they all said, and you get Kurt and Hawk saying, take care of them, then you know you're in. So with that being the case, I do remember a little bit the dark match, but because it was a dark match, I almost just put it out of my mind going, it's just a dark match, just Pat Rose, and it don't mean nothing. But that is where it started now that I remember. You're right. Boy, you guys remember everything.
And your finisher you used that night before you would go on to the more famous Berserker finisher we'll talk about. As John Nord that night, you did the pile driver.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think they just said, go over, do anything you want, you know?
Did you think pile driver would have been a good finish for the Berserker as a regular?
No, I tell you what would have been good for me was the full Nelson, because my body, I knew my body was getting touchy. I had already pounded on it on football and college and on, but not super bad. Some guys are just fortunate to have really good bodies, and they stay all glued together good and everything, and they're fortunate. And other guys get hurt real easy, and I was one of them guys. I wished I would have used the full Nelson, which Bill Watts had me using for a little while, and that was good because it don't beat your body up.
Yeah.
But going to the next month or whatever, Dan, I went as the Viking.
Right. Well, we're going to get there. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. Would Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules have been upset if you went the route of the full Nelson? Because Herc was still there when you were there.
Question.
Billy Jack was gone.
Good question.
But, yeah.
I guess I didn't watch it enough
to
really know. If they would have came up to me and said, and I know Herc real well. I know Billy just a little bit. I know Herc real well, and Herc ain't gonna hurt nobody. Billy's tough. Billy Haynes is tough. Anyways, I don't know if they would have, but that would have been my choice. However, it wasn't up to me. It wasn't my decision. But here I was, just trying to. I was just doing what they were saying.
Right.
The main thing was I was getting paid. I was at a job. My wife was grateful. They come up, Titan Sports, those checks, right in the mailbox. Titan Sports.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and
so how did it come to be? Who reached out to who? Did you mentioned Barry and Joe and I'm sorry, Hawk and Mr. Perfect.
Barry, Hawk, and Mr. Perfect.
They went to the office and said, "This is a guy worth investing in."
Yeah, and actually back in '86, you can verify this with Brad Rangens. Hulk called Brad Rangens and said, "I want to work with him. I want to work with John Nord. I heard he's a good guy, and he's a big son of a gun, and that's when I was in shape, '86, and he called Brad wanting, and I just stayed with Vern. I just didn't even think. I said, well, why do I want to go out to New York? It just didn't realize in my brain how big New York was and how much money was out there. It was astronomical. I just didn't know it.
If you had a big run with Hogan, those house shows, sometimes you're talking 6, 8, 10 grand a night.
Well, Kurt Hennig had a heck of a run with him in '89.
'89 into '90, yeah.
Yep. And I sold them 2 expeditions, brand new.
Did you?
Yeah, I was selling Fords. And I sold them 2 expeditions, brand new each. And Kurt had terrible credit. His credit was so bad, he'd need a co-signer to pay cash. You know?
That bad?
It was bad. But anyways, he wrote on the application what he made on the run of Hogan. And in 1 year, he made $385.
Wow.
So that's a big year. And Kurt, he's like me. We've never been able to manage our money. Never. We just can't do it. we've tried and tried and tried, but we get drunk and we do the pull tabs and we do a little gambling and we lose this and we come home with nothing, but we still got money in the bank and it just goes round and round. But so that was that, and that's the truth, and that's verified. Call Brad Rangan.
You know what I find?
Call him right now.
You know what I find interesting? You mentioned Kurt with the money. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but we had Larry Henning and Irene for his very last appearance before he passed away. And Irene had told me that I'm sure you're familiar, his son got involved in wrestling.
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah. And almost the polar opposite. What him and his wife did was they lived off of the money she made in, I think, the medical field, and everything that Joe made, Curtis Axel in WWE, they put that away and they saved. So maybe they saw what the dad did.
Saved for who?
For themselves.
You mean for Curtis Axel or for Irene and Larry?
No. Curtis Axel saved it for himself and his family.
Oh,
They just never spent the money. They were very smart with the money.
Very smart.
Yeah.
But see, Joe, Kurt's son, which I have a good story. We were going up to Mille Lacs Lake, a big lake in Minnesota. We drove up there and meet Kurt, and Joe was, I think, 7. And it was just a little funny deal. And we go walking in this little restaurant with, fish up there and the lake's right there. We walk in there and the guy across the bar goes to Kurt and goes, "I know you." And Kurt goes, yeah. He goes, "I can't think of your name." He goes, "Are you a good guy or a bad guy?" And Kurt goes, "I'm a great guy." And little Joe just laughed. He thought, and then I heard him tell the story at the Hall of Fame when Kurt got inducted. And I just thought it was really cute, Are you a good guy or a bad guy? I'm a great guy. So, typical Kurt Hennig.
Well, I never get to know him, but Irene and Larry I thought were class people. I got to know them through the cauliflower.
Oh, Larry. When we got caught stealing that beer, oh my God. See, Larry was a different guy then. He was at his prime. The guy was just a grizzly bear of a man. Oh my God. But yeah, next step, what next do you got on your sheet?
Well, okay, who reached out to who? Did you hear from someone particular in the office to set things up for you to come in for the TV shot?
Yeah, Pat Patterson.
Okay.
Pat Patterson called me up and said, "Hey, come on in." So I flew in. Pat got me in a room and said, good, how are you? "I'm doing really good," and I was. He goes, "I heard sometimes, they tell you to take a left and you take a right." I said, yep, that's true. I says, "But that's over. I've learned in life that I just don't do that anymore." And I was super polite. And then Vince came in, just said hi quick, wasn't much. Vince don't hang around for any length of time for hardly anybody.
Right.
And then, I think Rene Goulet was there. But I knew I had gotten the job just by the way they acted. And they said, I know what they said. They go, "You got to go to our costume department next." "What do you feel like in the ring?" they said. I said, "I feel just wild." Okay. So I'm sure they got together and said, "Hey, let's make him a Viking." He's from Minnesota. He grows curly long hair, and he's wild and this and that. And so that was set as a Viking. I didn't want to wear the tunic. Felt like I was wearing a frickin' dress.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. But I had to do it. Now, there's another thing. You do what your promoters tell you to do. I don't walk in there and say, "I'm not wearing it." I don't even got my first paycheck yet. So obey your promoters, first of all. So I did. I went with it. I took it off. And anyways, I started with the Viking. Okay, so the Viking did a couple matches as that. And I liked the name, the Viking. Well, they couldn't do it. A guy had it trademarked.
Oh.
And believe it or not, the guy that had it trademarked was working in Japan as the Viking. So it was really a weird deal. So, yeah, so, matter of fact,
did you know that first night when you worked as John Nord that you were going to metamorphosize into the Viking at future TV tapings, or was it just kind of an idea, a sketch on a piece of paper at that point?
I think it was just a sketch on a piece of paper.
Okay.
It wasn't a for sure deal. Nothing was.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's a for sure deal
Right.
until you're in that ring
Right.
doing it. Speaking of the tunic, you know, the thing I didn't want to wear was one thing that they got mad at me about. That's a little story is the Undertaker, I slammed him. I hit him with the sword, shield, hit him. He went down. I took the sword and I went to stab it you went to stab him. Well, he moved pretty early. So they had to dub that a little bit because he moved really soon. Or I jabbed it really late where it didn't look like it was gonna, you know, like it was dangerous. But anyways, it stuck in there. Did this, that. Then we went outside. I pulled the mat back. I slammed them. I pile drived them. And then afterwards, I took my tunic off and threw it on his chest, if you see it on the tape.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked down the aisle. And I got in the back of the locker room. Now, here's a lesson on how to listen to your promoter. I got in the back of the locker room, and here comes Pat Patterson. He said, "John, what the fuck did you take the tunic off for and throw it on him?" I says, "I don't know. I was trying to look as good as I could. Like I just kicked his ass, you know? Don't do that. Do what we say, okay? Just don't take the ball and run yourself and go your own way." I said, "Yeah, thanks, Pat. No, that's good. That's good advice. It is. Because I like this job of $250 a year."
Yeah.
So I never did it again. Me and him went around the horn. In other words, we went city to city to city to city to city.
Those are stories I can't wait to hear about, especially with our friend Mr. Percy Pringle, Paul Bear involved once we hit 92.
Yes.
Funny enough, night after you debuted in the dark matches, John Nord, another youngster, well, probably right around your age, War Eagle Chris Chavis, who went on to become Tatanka a little bit in the future. Any memories of a young Tatanka at that point, breaking in right around the same time as you?
Yeah, Tatanka was, although I know I had a lot more matches under my belt than him. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Tatanka was a good guy. I never knew him that good. He got along with everybody. And I know him too. He had a hard time running around me doing his war dance. He didn't necessarily like doing that. But
he didn't like the war dance.
Not that much. I think it kind of bothered him. But after a while, I think he started getting into it. And the bottom line, his office told him to do it. You better do it if you want to keep your job. But Tatanka, a harmless guy, totally wants to get along with everybody. don't got a mean bone in his body.
Yeah, he was with us last year, as a matter of fact,
Was
here
he?
in the studio for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. We had some great interviews with him that the fans love to have him back here in the future.
Don't have a mean bone in his body. I love him.
Yeah, his kids are really into athletics now down outside of Tampa. And
are they?
He's living the good life. Yeah,
Ah,
I believe
good
he's
for him.
still an official WWE legend. He has one of those contracts with them where he's an ambassador of sorts. So he's doing good for himself.
Yeah, yeah. I signed a legend deal. I don't know if it's the same as his.
Well, he gets the check in the mail every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the good ones.
That's a really.
There's one that comes 4 times a year if you hit the $50 threshold, and then there's the Legends one that comes every 2 weeks.
Now, that is really strange to me. I would have never guessed that on Tatanka would have got that. But good for him. Good for him. Here's what I can tell you, talking about that subject. The Berserker is like a band in Australia or something.
Oh, really? There's another Berserker?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And there's a Berserker this and a Viking that, and there's a lot of offshoots of the name. I don't know. I don't follow it. I'm not sitting there on YouTube or wherever else and looking, seeing what's on. But what had happened was I had talked to the office, the payroll guy, Rob, somebody with a long name. Rob, good, nice guy, talked to him for years. I says, hey, what's going on my Legends? He says, oh, you got that paid off. So I says, oh, good. So it's 10 grand, they give it to you, and then you got to pay it off.
Right.
So I got it paid off. And what I was getting, my checks went to 10 times as much as what they were.
The royalty checks, you mean?
The royalty checks.
Because they were producing more content with you.
Well, I don't know what it was, but you would be kind of dumb not to think that that Berserker name finally might have paid off.
Yeah, right.
Is my opinion.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I don't know. But between the band being the Berserker and this Viking deal and it being an actual pretty decent action figure as far as looks. It got
it was a nice
good
figure.
reviews.
Yeah.
Got good reviews. My checks went up 10 times the amount. And I'm like, what? And it was really good because I needed the money. Obviously, we all do. And if you don't need the money, you're lying.
Unless you're Marty Jannetty, I guess.
Yeah, unless you're Jimmy Jack Jannetty, I call him.
Jimmy Jack Jannetty.
Jimmy Jack Jannetty. Go to the river. Keep looking. See if you can find it. Go to the river. Just go to the river. And when you find it, come back.
You started as the Viking at the first set of TV tapings after the Royal Rumble. Did you have any expectations as far as what they were going to do with you? Babyface, heel?
What?
Anyone you were going to work with in particular?
In what?
As the Viking, once you debuted with that gimmick.
Did I have any feelings of who I was going to work with?
Did they give you any idea what they wanted to do with you?
No. But can I tell you? This is okay. Can I tell you this? Can I tell you?
You can tell me whatever you want, John.
Okay, speaking of that, this is what happened between me and Undertaker. It was Toledo, Ohio. I was told that Pat Patterson came up to me and said, we brought Mark into the room and asked him, who can you have a good match with? Because he wasn't having good matches.
He was with a lot of big stiffs at that point.
He wasn't having good matches, especially in Japan. Japan basically booed him out of there.
Yeah.
That slow stuff don't work. And he wasn't having good matches. Hey, who can you have a good match with? And he says, John Nord. And they says, really? Yep, okay. We'll tell him, hey, you're getting a big push tonight. You're going to go with The Undertaker. Okay? and I had a dirty piss. So now my piss is dirty, and I had to scream out, I gotta go home, my wife is pregnant. She might have it. So I had to leave. And you know what they said? That's all right. When you come back, we'll do it. So 2 days.
You know what? Let's save that for once we get to 92.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Again, sometimes it's like
you were bringing
setting the scene. Yeah.
Okay, well, you're right.
In 91, when you first came in as Viking, did they give you any idea of who they might want to have you work with or what they wanted you to do? Or did you have any expectations before you started on the road full time? Because they build you up on TV before they put you on the house show.
No, they actually, I don't think they knew for sure. I think they wanted to see. I think they were a little nervous. Like some guys didn't want to work with me.
Oh, really?
I think so, just a little bit. Because I was maybe a little stiff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first guys they put me with was Coco Beware.
Oh, we're going to go through the whole list, yeah? And what are your memories of the Birdman?
He's a son of a bitch.
Why was he a son of a bitch?
Because he frickin' wouldn't work. He was in the ring. He wanted to do everything his way.
He was difficult to work with.
He was difficult. He was working. He was like working with that big staircase there made out of wood there. You know, it was stiff, and you didn't want to do it. And I think he had a little bit of syndrome that you ain't gonna get over on me. You know. He had that, and listen, I'm not the first guy to say Coco Beware was tough to work with. Everybody said it. Ask him. Everybody said it. So he was just tough to work with. So he'd be coming back, and he'd never come over the locker room and confront me. All he would do is bitch in the other locker room, in the babyface locker room. Yeah. Just bitch about that. And so that was my first guy there. And then I went to...
But we can hold off on that. We got the cue from the back from John C. Manicus Riley. I like to break things down very detailed because you know what? Sometimes...
You are detailed.
We never may get a chance to tell these stories again, John.
We are detailed.
You never know.
I like it that...
It's a throwback Thursday.
Thorough.
All right, well,
you're thoroughly... thorough.
It's a thorough Thursday. It's a thorough throwback Thursday.
It's thoroughly throwback Thursday.
And wrestling fans, we want you to stay with us right now. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be back with more with John Nord after this brief timeout.
Thank y'all.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th.
hits different live with WWE Super Show. Don't miss an epic main event.
Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston, King Woods, The New Day, Roman Reigns, and the Usos in a six-man tag team match.
Will the new arrivals on the Blue Brand disrupt the dominance of the Bloodline? It's WWE Super Show in Boston, Sunday, January 9. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. Get this WWE NXT TakeOver War Games 2020 11x14 limited edition autographed poster signed by everyone on the event, number 23 of only 100 made. Includes signatures from the Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, Io Shirai, Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley, Dexter, Loomis, and more. Comes with authentication hologram on the back of the poster. Also comes with mystery autographed 8x10 and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insider Throwback Thursday. We're really throwing them back. John C. Manicus Riley said,
throwback.
we're talking too long, John. What's going on here, brother?
I don't know. All I do is talk. I can't stop.
Wrestling fans, you got to let us know what you think in the premiere chat on Thursday night or in the description box below. You can help us bring you a lot more John Nord with a lot more super chats, or joining the Patreon, hitting the eBay store, and all that good stuff. But before we go, John, big question. You talked about Coco. Before we even started getting into some of the various opponents you worked with on the Loop, which we're going to start with next week as we kick off a new year in our new series on episode 4. But what did you think of the travel?
I think next year's going to be awesome.
I do. Well, you're going to be here, so it will be.
Thank you. I will be here.
Was the schedule as intense as you expected it to be?
Working for the WWF?
Yeah.
It was more intense than what I ever dreamed.
And can you tell us how and why?
Well, I started out after Coco going to England, Belfast, London, on and on and on and on. And it was, if you've ever been to England, you know the food is just junk. Their steaks look like, shoe leather.
Oh, really?
They do. They got shitty food. Hey, you want to stick with the best food in the world? Stay in the U.S., trust me.
How many days per month would you say you had off at that point?
I'll tell you what, in 92, not 91, because I started late.
Yeah.
But 92, I wrestled 285 nights.
Holy shit. 285?
285. I went like 37 nights in a row once.
Wow.
It was crazy. And you know who else was with me on that? Because we kept going with Bret Hart. Bret wrestled everything, which don't let me forget to tell you the Bret Hart story.
Oh, we got Bret in the notes coming up in some of the episodes in the very near future for the fans that want a little Bret Hart tease, but did as many as 285 nights. Obviously, in 91.
I did 285, but
they introduced it before they put you on the house show Loop. They want to introduce the character at a few TVs, so you weren't on the road full time right off the bat. They kind of they build the character up so it has value on those house shows.
Yeah. So
it was tough. I mean, when you went home, Mrs. Nord must have been like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah, Well, I tell you what.
How old were your kids at that point?
They were 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that must have been tough to be away.
Yeah, it was. But I'll tell you what. My wife was a flight attendant for 40 years.
Really? Okay.
And guess what? They offered her for Northwest. Mm-hmm. Now it's Delta. They offered year leaves, and you could come back.
Oh, okay.
So my wife stayed home a year at a time, 4 years, and homeschooled the kids.
Really?
And it was just wonderful. The checks in the mail. Money ain't everything, but it was paying the bills. It took the comfort. It made everything comfortable. John wasn't out doing something stupid, which I've done. I was out working, and she was getting the paychecks, and my kids were, you know, I talked to them a lot on the phone and told them I love them. Everything was good.
You must have been going through a lot of quarters on those payphones.
I know. Like $400 a month.
Oh, my God.
Remember that $400 a month long distance?
Hey, I tell you, imagine if there were those unlimited cell phone plans back then. Think of the money you guys would have saved.
Oh, my God. They should refund us.
No kidding, right? Or even never mind those hotel room phones.
That's terrible.
All right.
So where are we at?
Well, right now, unfortunately, John C. Manicus Riley says we're about ready to wrap up the show. Stand by. We'll be right back.
Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling's Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berserker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
MJ in the house.
Future WWE Hall of Famer, mind you. Let me tell you this.
I'm not in there yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
But you will be.
Yeah, I will.
You know Sean wants to be the first three-timer.
Three-timer,
yeah.
yeah.
There you go. Let me tell you, you enjoy the in-studio shoot interviews 4 times a week. It isn't cheap to put these productions together, folks. We need your help.
No, because they got to pay me.
Okay. Coronavirus has killed the nightlife in a lot of ways. We are night owls, Marty and I, but that's a different story for a different time. One way you can help is to check out the great merchandise we have in the Boston Wrestling eBay store. It is perfect for any wrestling man cave or any collection.
That's right. Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. At Survivor Series, it was champion versus champion as WWE champion Drew McIntyre battled Universal champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Get this 11x14 poster autographed by all 3 men. Limited edition, number 42 of only 50, with authentication hologram on the back of the poster itself. Comes with a mystery autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Wrestling fans, get ready for a weekend of the unpredictable as the Berserker, John Nord, returns to MWF Studios in Melrose the weekend of Saturday, January the 22nd. Wrestling Insider Throwback Thursday tapings, live episodes, watch-alongs, cyber autograph signings, and more. Boston Wrestling Patreon fans can meet the Berserker for free. For more information and mail order info, head on over to thebostonwrestling.com super site now. Don't miss the Berserker, January 22nd.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to the second to last episode of our entire Wrestling Insider series for 2021. What a year it has been. To think that we were going to expand virtually to 7 days a week is unbelievable on our end. I don't think I ever expected Tony Atlas to be gone. I didn't think the party with Marty Jannetty was going to go on a quote-unquote little hiatus. I didn't know we'd start an ECW
He's
theme
in the
show.
river looking for the guy.
He's still down in the chair. Maybe that's where he is. It could be like a reality show.
Hey, we should start a band, River Bottom Nightmare Band.
Chasing the Chattahoochee.
Yeah.
But for all of you fans, I know New Year's Eve is a busy night. You may not be with us tomorrow night for John Cena Sr.'s Fabulous Fridays at 11 p.m. But if you are with us on New Year's Eve, we're going to have a little bit of fun, maybe a little bit of the Fabovino, a little bit of the bubbly.
Awesome.
But I hope you guys know how extremely grateful and appreciative I am for those diehard fans that are with us so often, the regular fans that are with us, especially our great moderators, Slick Rick B, who put so many different ideas as far as what we could do with YouTube into my head that I wasn't even aware of. I don't claim to be the smartest man in the world. Phil has been a great help. Vaughn has been a great help. I mean, the list could go on and on.
Yeah.
Tania, how could I forget about Tania? And hopefully we're going to make more great friends and continue to build this bad boy up. We love doing the in-studio talk shows, and even more so if you're in the Northeast. We humbly, not like what the Sheik wanted to do to him, humbly invite you to be with us when we go back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th, two blocks down the road at Memorial Hall here in Melrose, Massachusetts.
Yes,
For John Nord, I'm Dan Marotti. Not only will we see you next time, we'll see you next year. You and yours be happy, be healthy, be safe, don't drink and drive. See you next Thursday night. Good night.
God bless you.
Fans, do you enjoy having the Berserker with us or what? He's going to be with us every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after Impact on AXS TV for more must-see viewing. He'll also be with us live the weekend of January 22nd for more Wrestling Insider tapings, live episodes, watch-alongs, and cyber autograph signings. Set a reminder now. Folks, as we noted on New Year's Eve, we had an 11-hour John Cena Sr. Marathon, catching fans up on episodes from 2021. He'll hopefully be back with brand new content this Friday night after SmackDown and AEW Rampage as we prepare for tonight's live WWE Day 1 pay-per-view watch-along at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're looking for that awesome late holiday gift for friends, family, or yourself, discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now to Boston Wrestling Sports Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts, featuring WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, three-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, the Berzerker himself, and more. The event features a VIP exclusive Q&A session, an autograph photo fan fest, all before the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow light up the squared circle like no tomorrow. Again, discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now through the end of Raw this Monday night. Don't forget that the Boston Wrestling eBay store is open for business 24/7 with great wrestling merchandise of superstars from every era. Treat yourself, treat a friend, treat a family member. Get that wrestling man cave rocking and rolling for the new year. Click the link to the eBay store in the description box below or by clicking the store button on bostonwrestling.com. Unfortunately, it's that time of week again, folks, but I do have to go. Still mentally and physically exhausted from all of the traveling I've been doing. I think from the time I woke up the Wednesday before Christmas until the time I got home, it was a 22-and-a-half-hour day with 2 flights, along with 10, sometimes 12, 15-hour days here at the studio every single day. I am not on the road. When you wake up and you don't remember the month, you know you're a tired man. I certainly owe Lincoln Place's finest a major thank you for a dozen or so reasons, maybe even more. As we open 2022 with a bang, your Super Chat donations go a long, long way in keeping these great programs produced, along with sharing the link across social media. Hope you had fun tonight reliving the memories with the legends. We'll be back again with great content all week long. As the new year begins, folks, I always suggest breathe, focus. What do you want to accomplish this year? Think to yourself in a quiet moment. I hate New Year's resolutions. I'm not that type of guy. You could have started a New Year's resolution on December 13th, November 8th, any day you like. Have resolutions every day and bust your ass to try and make them happen. That's the work ethic true professionals were taught in our crazy wrestling industry, and I believe they can apply to your everyday life for anybody, no matter what you do for work, or even if you're a student or don't work, or whatever your life circumstances may be. Don't forget, we're going to be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Day 1 WWE pay-per-view watch-along. Until we speak again, folks, I'll be back next week for another Wrestling Insiders Weekend review. You and yours, be healthy, be safe. Happy New Year's from Boston.